All right, welcome to Survive and Protect. We on live, and from time to time, I might go live. So you never know when I'll be live, and you never know when I'll be uploading videos I recorded and edited. And so today, this is for the Escape Master series. All right, so there's a hold that's pretty popular that you might see on UFC, and actually, there's been people actually doing it in real life too. I've seen some real life videos where people, I would see kids, and maybe I've seen a couple of adults do the hold as well. And like I said, it's pretty popular, but I'm always under the mindset that for anything, any hold you get put into, any restraint, any lock you get put into, there's always a potential way to escape that lock, that hold, or that restraint. All right. So today, what I'm going to do is we're going to go over a particular hold. I always forget. I think they call it, some people. I think they call it the arm bar, but I'm not sure. But we're going to show you the actual hold, and then show you a potential strategy to get out of this hold, or to relieve the pressure at the very least of this particular hold. So I got my man Jaden once again. You've seen him in the For Teachers Only series video. So I got him here again. And this video is for kids and adults as well, all right? So we're going to demonstrate the hold first, and then describe how to get out of it. So get over this side here. I'm going to lay down this way. Get down. Put me in that hole. Let me make sure. Move this way a little bit. There you go. I'll tell you what. Let's go this way. Sit over there. Try to make sure I got the camera view going. Alright. Go this way a little bit. And back up. Alright. So here's the particular hole that we're talking about. Alright. You all know this hole right here. Make sure I'm in camera view. Alrighty. You see my hand? Let me see. You see me head on the camera? Mm-hmm. Alright, let go of this hand for a minute. Y'all guys know this hole where the guy or girl, could be anybody really, puts the person in this configuration here in this particular hole, right? You see how I am right now. Then they grab the arm, and what they do is, all right, let go for a second. They would normally, this person here who has the arm, they would normally lay back on their head, but then they lift their hips up. So just without my arm, just lift yourself up by the hip. Just like that, hold it right there. So that's what it would look like. All right, come back down. Now put me in, go real slow, and I'll tap and let you know when there's pressure. All right, that's good. And so that's basically what they'll do. They'll lift their hips up, and all right, let go. And what happens is your arm is pretty much like this position, and the person will lift up, and it puts pressure on this arm here. All right, this dog is tripping out, but that's all right. Anyway, what happens is the person will lift up, and it pretty much locks it over. Come up, go for a second, so I can show them like this. All right, I'm gonna stand this way, but the person will be down like I showed you guys, and they will lift up on the hips. So then it really locks that elbow and everything in. And the more they lift up, they could potentially snap this arm, because instead of it bending like this, it'll bend in the opposite direction the more they lift up on it. So it doesn't matter if I'm sitting this way, but I'm gonna show you from back how he was in a second. It doesn't matter if you're laying down this way and the person goes up, or the opposite direction. The whole thing is to keep that pressure from that person going up to potentially just breaking that joint, that elbow joint, right? So let's get back in the hold. I'm going to show you a couple of things, a couple of options. One is how to relieve that pressure, so that even though if that person goes up, it's going to keep from your elbow either getting snapped or that pressure of it hurting real bad. All right? So what happens is when the person lifts up, don't lift up yet, but when the person lifts up, you got a few things going on here. First, you have the arm to deal with, and then the pressure of that person's legs, I guess, is kind of helps to keep you in place from moving. But like I said, I'm going to go over a couple of options here to let you guys see that there's always a way potentially to get out of any hold you get put in. All right, so real slow, do it again, and I'm going to tap. All right, so right there, if he goes any further, he keeps going and going and going. And if he goes fast, you know, he might put me in the hold quick, and it's going to require me to have to make some adjustments quick, because you never know how fast a person's going to go or how smooth or whatever. They can do it pretty fast in a hurry and pretty much break your arm. And then you'll be dealing with just one arm left if you can bear the pain. So the way to do that, let go of this hand. So the way to do that is you got to keep your arm in a position in such a way that even though he goes up, it's going to do one or two things or both. All right. For one, it's going to relieve the pressure. So even if he keeps putting his hips up, and up, that you won't have to worry about your arm being snapped off. But at the same time, it might put some pain into the person as well. All right. So when I say go, okay, give my hand. When I say go, just go up slowly, and then you guys are going to see how I try to handle that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Notice how he's putting up on his hips, but it's not messing me up yet, all right? So now, did you feel any pressure on you when I did that?
Yeah, on my hips.
There wasn't any pain involved on you at all?
It was on my hips.
All right. So on his hips, he's saying that when I changed the position of my arm, that's when he started feeling pressure. But the more he was going up, I could feel some pull and some strain, but it wasn't the same where I could feel like my elbow was going to snap. So it gave me some time. All right. So it's not necessarily an escape, but it's also relieving some pressure from your elbow being becoming possibly snapped. All right. And then you just be left with a lanky arm. So now, let's grab my arm again. So now that's one thing. All right, let go for a second. Now, like I said, the way you handle, before I go any further, the way you deal with this particular hold, if you ever get put in that hold, you take your arm, because you can either have your hand in the fist. There's no telling how they're going to grab you. They might grab you with your hand open. You might end up having your hand in the fist. But what I suggest is, once you find out that this person's getting ready to, you might end up in this type of position, and you can't, some people try to grab and hold their arm, but you might not be as strong as the other person. You might be able to do it. You might be stronger than the person and be able to hold this arm from extending out. And in the event that you can't do that and you end up losing a grip or whatever, you can't hold it, or they're stronger than you, or they do some other way to make you release from you grabbing your hand, and then you end up like that, what you want to do is turn your wrist in, all right? It makes no sense to going out this way. You want to turn it in, so now you can, instead of having to like do like this, now you can be bending this way. And sometimes when, once they do that, go ahead and do it again, real slow. All right. I can still feel pressure in my bicep, but it's not on the elbow area. So I can still feel some pull and stretch, but it won't be to where my elbow won't snap, and that's what I'm kind of concerned with. Now, another thing on top of this is that even when you're turning, now you have a way to bend your arm, all right? And so if you bend your arm, it's going to end up putting your elbow into either his side of his leg or close to his groin area or the inside of his leg, his thigh. And you can put pressure. Sometimes when the more they try to pull and the more you're going this way, you can actually put your elbow into his leg or whatever, and that puts more pressure on him, because the more he pulls and tries to stretch your arm, and you have your wrist turned, and you can it gives you an ability to be able to bend your arm a little bit, even if they still have it. And you can end up putting your elbow into a pressure point inside their leg or in their groin area, the crease part of the groin area. So it'll push that pressure on them. So that's part one of it. The second thing is, while they're doing that, just do it slow. And while they're doing that, you have other weapons. Your teeth are weapons. So while he's doing that, you can start biting into his leg. So that's also something he's going to have to think about. So he'll be thinking about you biting on his calf muscle or the side of his leg. You bite, and then you could possibly from his reaction to the bite and possibly from the elbow hitting the nerve inside, he might flinch a little bit, which might give you a second or two to be either pull the leg out more. And even if he has your arm, you can still bend your leg, and it might, he might have to let go because of that pain. And at the same time, you can bite, and then if he lets go of this hand, you can kind of grab here. And if the guy's stronger than you, at the very least, you can have both of your arms to kind of help and pull everything in. And even if you can't get up, it'll gain you some time to even catch a breath or something like that until you're ready to make a move. And then what you can do is to try to sit up, and he might be stronger than you from doing that. But in that case, you still can continue holding one leg with both arms and continue biting. All right, biting the thigh areas, the calf muscle areas until he starts to flinch more to where you might be able to at least push and scoot yourself out. All right. So once again, let me just without him real quick, without you, I'm gonna just demonstrate it like this. Now I said, like I said, he has you like this. However, sometimes you can get set up in that position, and people can do it pretty quick. So a lot of times people try to grab their hands to keep the person from extending it in your hand, or whether it's a fist or whether it's open, it's like this. And so the more they push up, the more this area right here, the elbow, can end up snapping on you. All right, so to relieve that pressure at the very least, even not escaping for the moment, to relieve that pressure, instead of keeping your hand there, you got to try to work to turn it in. All right, so you want to work to turn that hand in. If you got it open, try to work to turn it in. But I think what I find is when you ball your hand in the fist and turn it, I think it gives you a little bit more strength to work with. And once you turn it in, they'll still be able to stretch. And yes, I felt it in my bicep. I can still feel the stretching, but it gives you more time and keeps the potential of your arm, your elbow getting snapped. And then it'll buy you a little bit more time, especially when you start bending your arm a little bit. He might still be able to, he or she, because anybody can put you in this hole. You can bend your arm. It enables you to bend your arm a little bit. So at the very least, your elbow can start going into the crease area of the woman or the man in their pelvic area. You could be able to bend your arm a little bit, and it can go inside that area. Or the very inner thigh that gets you ready to come up to the crease of your of the pelvic area. You can put your elbow there, and then it's little pressure points in that area. You put enough pressure, it's going to cause them some pain and some trouble as well. And while you're doing that at the same time, you can start biting the leg, right? Until it makes the person flinch more, and then it can kind of give you, they might end up letting go of this arm, which will give you time real quick to snatch back and hold on to their leg. And while you're holding on to the leg, they can bite more. You can start struggling and trying to work your way out. And then if there's a opening for you to where you're doing enough biting to it affects them, you could possibly push their leg off. At the very least, you don't want to, if you can't get up from it, you just start sliding yourself out and pushing their leg off. All right, and start sliding away from it. All right, so we'll do it real quick again. Quick demonstration again, all the way through. We'll go slow so I can show you how it's done. And then you guys try it at home. Try to find a partner to do it with. And hopefully this will work for you. This will be something that'll help you escape this hole. So right quick, before, stay in this position, but let's sit up for a minute. All right, now imagine from this position, they're grabbing the arm and they're going back. They get ready to go back on you. Go up slow, slow, slow. And I'm turning it in, right? At the same time, I'm going to try to bend my arm or bend my elbow and put some pressure on them. It might put some pain to them, depending on where you're at. And at the same time, you're biting. You keep putting pressure, bite some more, and by turn, at the very least, you can get your arm from under and push, and drag yourself out of there. Or what I guess they call maybe shrimping or something to that effect. But you're sliding yourself out. You don't even have to get back up. You just kind of slide yourself, push the leg and slide yourself, keep going back. All right? So hopefully this works for you guys. I appreciate you watching Survive and Protect. And this is a way to escape this particular hole. I don't pay attention too much unless I remember the name of the hole, but you see what the hole looks like. So there is a potential, there's an option to escape that particular hole, all right? So on behalf of Survive and Protect, I want to say thank you for watching. Try this escape out and see how it works for you. And hopefully this doesn't happen to you in real life, but if it does, now you know a way to get out of it, all right? Survive and protect. I'm out. Peace.